Today I am sharing with you part one of a project our firm has been working on for quite a while. It's one of our biggest projects to date. It's Project Desert Escape. Part one includes the entryway, the main floor living area, the kitchen and dining area, and the study. The very first thing we do when we're working on a new project is consider what the heart of the home is. What's the place where everybody's going to want to hang out and lounge and chill out, and also what are the interesting elements that we want to incorporate into the home that make this home unique. This home is in southern Utah. It's a desert landscape, and we really drew from that for our inspiration. We wanted it to feel, sort of like you were outdoors, inside. The colors, the color palette, some of the textures, we wanted to keep that modern feeling, those warm, inviting colors, and also sort of feel minimalist, just like the desert landscape does. This was a remodel project. This home was existing, so there were some things that we just had to work with, and there were some things that we felt were really important to change. The lighting, the hardware, the paint colors, those were really important things for us to change. I think sometimes people underestimate the importance of things like lighting and hardware and tile. What difference does that kind of thing make in the mood of a home? The tile work and the lighting that was in here was beautiful, but it was not at all the direction that we wanted to go with the home. So we chose light fixtures and hardware and tile that stick with that same theme, that minimalist, earthy, grounded in warmer tones with the high contrast with the black. So between the light fixtures, they're mostly brass or that steel black color. When you walk in this home, it's a grand front door, a grand entryway. We wanted to set the tone from the very first moment that you walk in the door that it's comfortable, relaxed, and that you're welcome here. So in the entryway, we put a bench with some beautiful Stagg design throw pillows where you can sit down, take off your shoes. Also a mirror. I think a mirror in an entryway is always just a really smart way to go. Guests can give themselves a little check in the mirror as they go in and out. It also makes the entryway feel a little bit larger. From the entryway, you walk in to the most amazing living room. And when I say it's the most amazing living room, I've been in a lot of living rooms, and this one may be my favorite one. The star, really, of this living room is the grand windows. The windows are beautiful enough, but then the surprise is that they're retractable. So once you push that door all the way open, it is really outdoor, indoor living at its finest. This home has amazing views. They look over all of the city of St. George. You can't escape the landscape views. They're really, really breathtaking. We incorporated that same inspiration into the artwork that we took into the dining room, and also a lot of the colors that we pulled into the living room. It's a lot of warm oranges, reds, brown, rust colors. This is a really large living room, and I always say when you're designing really large spaces, think of it like a circle. You want, no matter where you're sitting, for you to be a part of the conversation. So all of the pieces of furniture need to be touching the rug. Also, had to make sure that the rug was large enough for the space. That's a common design mistake that people make with really large spaces, is that their rug is just too small and their furniture isn't quite all touching it, or it's touching it and it's all really cramped together. So this home has the perfect balance. This room has just a really great feng shui to it with the layout of the furniture. The dining space needed to seat a lot of people. This is a home where they host a lot of guests and have a lot of family gatherings and invite friends and family over frequently. So we needed to have a lot of places to sit. The dining table is long and grand. When we first started working on this home, the kitchen just felt really off. We didn't change the layout at all, but the lighting was in a very bizarre sort of layout. So by changing the lighting completely and adding 4 large pendants over the very large island, it balances everything out. It doesn't distract from the grandness of the kitchen like it did before. Instead, it just feels like, okay, this is what it was meant to look like. The bar stools wrap all the way around the island in sort of an L shape, so additional seating for a big party. The earthy tile, we loved switching that up and making it feel like sort of a handmade, imperfect sort of feeling back there. It again feels minimalist yet interesting at the same time. For this kitchen, we didn't want to overdo it with the styling. We really wanted to keep it very functional, very practical, and with very clean lines. Off of the living room entry area, there's a study. And when we were talking to our homeowners and really discussing their needs for this space, they didn't really have a need for an office space. So instead, we made this a study, a quiet space where you could go and sort of drown out the noise. The kids could maybe sit down and do some homework if they needed to. Also, it has a very calming feeling with the really dark paint. That was one of the funnest things that we did, was add that really interesting dark paint and also the library lights over the bookshelves. We didn't want to trash everything in this house. It had really nice quality pieces when we originally started working on it, but most of them just didn't work for what we were trying to do. However, we were able to save this light fixture. It was in a completely different part of the house. It was not working in there, so we thought, hey, let's try it in the study. Repurposing is always very smart and budget conscious. Thanks so much for watching part 1 of Project Desert Escape. Be sure to head over to stagg-design.com to see the whole project, and also stay tuned for part 2. Then the surprise feature is that you start to open the doors and it's retractable. What is happening?
I think we're experiencing an earthquake.
Is this an earthquake?